Repeating the words "I am wealthy" in the mirror is one of the most reliable ways to stay broke. This statement, designed to build a new reality, is actually reinforcing the very prison you want to escape. We're going to break down the neurological reason this happens and reveal the language your brain actually understands. And chances are, you're making this mistake with every goal you have, cementing the very patterns you're trying to shatter. Your brain is a ruthlessly efficient pattern-matching machine. It has one primary job: to keep your internal map aligned with the external world. When you stand in front of the mirror, feel the anxiety of an overdue bill, and declare "I am abundant," your brain detects a catastrophic error. The words say one thing. Your nervous system, your bank account, and your lived experience are all screaming the opposite. This isn't a motivational gap. It's a data conflict, and your brain's job is to resolve it immediately. It treats the statement like a system error that needs debugging. The brain has to close this gap between your words and your reality. The way it does this is the exact opposite of what you intend. It starts by asking a silent, subconscious question that shapes your entire financial reality. That question is, what's the evidence? Confronted with the bold claim, "I am wealthy," your brain becomes a cynical detective. Its prime directive is to find the truth, and the truth is built from data. So it scans your environment for proof. It finds the final notice in the mail. It recalls the stress of choosing which groceries to put back at the checkout line. It registers the clenching in your stomach when a friend suggests a restaurant you can't afford. Each of these is a piece of evidence. Each one is a verifiable data point. The affirmation is a single, unsupported claim. The evidence for broke is overwhelming, vivid, and emotionally charged, so your brain, the logical detective, looks at the mountain of evidence on one side and the whisper of an affirmation on the other. It renders a verdict. It concludes the affirmation is a lie. This confirmation feels like failure. It feels like you're just pretending, and the feeling of being an imposter is a heavy weight. But what your brain does next with that verdict is where the real damage begins. It doesn't just dismiss the claim, it strengthens the case against it. Every time you repeat the affirmation and your brain refutes it with real-world evidence, you are running a drill. You are practicing the state of lack. You are rehearsing the feeling of the gap between what you want and what you have. Neurologically, this strengthens the circuits of scarcity. The emotional charge of the contradiction, the frustration, the disappointment, the feeling of lying to yourself is what makes the memory stick. The brain wires what fires with feeling. You're trying to build a new identity, but you are actively training your brain to become an expert at identifying and feeling every single piece of evidence that proves you are still the old one. The affirmation becomes a trigger for a cascade of thoughts and feelings associated with being broke. This process transforms a hopeful statement into an instrument of self-sabotage. But what if you could speak a language your brain can't refute? A language that acknowledges reality without being defined by it. The fix involves shifting from a statement of identity to a statement of trajectory. This sounds like a small change. It changes everything. Your brain rejects "I am wealthy" because it's a lie. It cannot reject a statement like "I am learning how to manage my money more effectively," or "I am taking steps to increase my income." Why? Because these statements are verifiable. You spent 30 minutes reading a book on personal finance? That's evidence. You put $20 into a savings account? That's evidence. You paid a bill on time? That is hard factual evidence that you are a person who handles their responsibilities. Your brain can work with this. It can see the action and confirm the statement is true. You've given it a new set of data points to work with. This is the difference between trying to teleport to the top of a skyscraper and taking the first step onto the staircase. One is fantasy that your system rejects. The other is a real physical action that your brain can register and validate. The feeling shifts from the dissonance of a lie to the quiet integrity of a process. You stop fighting your own biology. Instead, you start giving it what it needs: proof. But just changing the words is only half the equation. There's one final layer, and it's where the real rewiring happens. It's about attaching the right feeling to the right event. The critical mistake is trying to conjure the feeling of wealth out of thin air. You can't. That feeling is inaccessible when your nervous system is screaming about survival. The key is to stop trying to feel the outcome. Instead, you must learn to attach a feeling of satisfaction to the action. When you pay that bill, Your default programming is to feel the pain of the money leaving. It's a loss. But under this new model, you consciously reframe it. You take a moment and feel the satisfaction of being a person who honors their commitments. That feeling is real. You earned it. When you move $10 into savings, you don't focus on how small it is. You focus on the feeling of pride for taking an action aligned with your future self. That pride is a real neurological event. You are generating a genuine earned emotion from a real-world action. This is what forges new neural pathways. You are tagging the small, boring, difficult actions with a positive emotional signal. Over time, your brain stops associating financial actions with pain and starts associating them with proof of progress. It starts seeing you as the person who is building wealth, not the person who is pretending to have it. The search engine in your head begins to find evidence for your new trajectory, because you are creating it, one small, emotionally resonant action at a time. This same mechanism explains why telling yourself, "I am confident," before a presentation can increase your anxiety. Your brain scans for evidence and finds a lifetime of public speaking fear instead. The conflict just makes the fear louder. The solution is the same. The process is the same, because the machine you're working with is the same.